What's up, guys? We are back. We took a little vacation last week, but we're back. Felicia Spencer, phenomenal fighter pick. How you doing, Fee?
I'm doing good. I'm definitely recovering from my trip. It takes a few days to not, for me at least, not to be tired anymore.
It does. It does. First, so how did it go? I saw you went out. It was like more like a Midwestern Colorado trip, right?
Yeah, Todd, Addie, and I went out to landed in Denver and drove through Colorado. Went around like the Four Corners, so
Nice.
New Mexico, Utah, Arizona. I picked up my niece. She lives in New Mexico, and brought her back to Florida. So she's with the grandparents now, and
Nice.
yeah, it was a cool, like, the two girls got to meet for the first time. They hit it off, and yeah, it was a great trip. Definitely a
That's
lot of sights
amazing.
to see, a lot of driving. I think Todd and I enjoyed the driving and the scenery a lot more than the little girls.
Like you could bring like the girl like my kids too. Like we just went to that mountain house in North Carolina. My wife and I loved it, but it's like we brought them to Chuck E. Cheese like a week later. We spent 1/20th of the money, and I swear they had a better time. It was like they
Yeah,
thought they were having a Chuck E. Cheese.
it's all good experiences though.
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Well, very cool. Well, yeah, we didn't talk to you last week. We definitely missed you. I missed you at least. Crazy UFC 264 with Connor and Dustin. I would see if you want to hit on that. Last week, I thought it was awesome. I was all on Misha Tate's return. We won a couple pennies betting on Misha, so super pumped. And then this card stacked UFC Vegas 32. So I didn't know if you had any feelings or thoughts or opinions from kind of the last 2 weeks of MMA.
Yeah, it feels like it was so long ago that Dustin and Connor fought. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seems like the story about his ankle like shifted over the last couple weeks about, oh, well, now he did have an ankle injury, which I totally believe. But why didn't they just say that in the beginning? They were
Right,
like, oh,
right.
I don't know why it would have just broke out of nowhere. Like, you could have just said that he had an ankle injury. It seems like everyone was already aware of it. But yeah, I think it was a kind of a crazy thing that happened, but
Yeah.
it makes sense that he kicked something and it started to break, and then just that little snap, kind of
With
like.
that being said, and you're probably a perfect person to ask this, like, so if he had an ankle injury, foot injury, bad, I would assume this is just from a normal person. Like, if my right hand was broke, I'm not going to throw my right hand. Like, going into a fight, I would assume you don't go into a fight every fight 100%. Is there some things that's like, man, my ribs are hurt, or I have an ankle problem, and you would try to veer to something else? It was just a little odd that he would go that way. Like you would have a change of a game plan, right?
I guess it depends how bad he thought it was.
Okay.
And also just, once the adrenaline goes, you don't feel the injury really. So
Yeah.
we probably just figured he would ignore it and it would be fine. Probably never would have thought that that would happen.
Yeah.
So definitely gone in with broken or torn ligaments, broken things, especially my hands or, um, yeah, I mean, it's never like 100% like you said, but yeah, he probably just didn't expect it to escalate that quickly,
Right.
that badly. So, so
I feel
yeah,
like there's like that funny movie, like that escalated quickly.
yeah, a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, cool. All right. UFC Vegas 32. I love this card. A really, really cool big main event. With us kind of being in Florida, like Hannah Goldie's on the card, her first fight in 22 months. Brandon Allen, Randy Costa, both Florida guys, kind of trained a lot of connective tissue. 4 female fights, really good main event with Aspen Ladd, Macy. So I'm intrigued. I think I might know where you go, but I'm super intrigued for your phenomenal pick for UFC Vegas 32.
All right, well, I'll just start with the pick. You probably know, obviously, I'm gonna pick Hannah Goldie. She's not an underdog in this one, but she's a friend and she's a monster. So I'm happy to see her back in the cage and getting a chance to just show her skills, and just go up the ranks. So Hannah Goldie definitely the pick. I don't actually know the person that she's fighting. I looked her up a little bit. I didn't really hear of her before, so I think she's probably going to dominate the fight and take it wherever she wants it to go. So, but another fight that I'm really excited about is the co-main with Aspen and Macy.
Yeah.
So with Aspen, I was invited to go train with her a couple years ago, I think. So I was excited to have the option of going to train with her, and I never ended up going at the time. And then just COVID happened and this and that. So lots of things kept me, but I do still plan on going out there at some point.
She
I
probably
was
thinks
also,
you hate her now. Aspen goes, that Felicia Spencer didn't
I
take me
know.
up on my offer. She hates me.
And then the funny thing is, I got also more recently invited to train with Macy. So it was like, well, well, I'm glad that I was like, well, unfortunately, I'm injured. Thanks. I'll hopefully take her up on her offer too, because I like them both so much. And I've
Yeah.
actually fought Macy in the past as an amateur. I fought her. Um, so yeah, I was like, well, I'm injured, and so I can't really do anything for this camp, which I'm happy about because I didn't want to train with Macy against Aspen and then be like,
Right.
I still want to go train with you, Aspen, so now I can train with both of them and there'll be no hard feelings. So good timing on my part. Whoever wins, I'll help them get ready for Amanda, maybe, or maybe the timing will work out. Because I feel like that fight will be like the next contender for
Yeah.
Amanda.
Yeah. Really good. I didn't know you fought Macy as an amateur.
Yep, I fought her at 155 in Louisiana. It was my first out of state trip, my third amateur fight.
Okay.
So yeah,
I feel like Aspen's kind of been on like this ascension. I think a lot of people know Aspen, and everyone thinks one day she will fight for the title one day. But Macy's kind of came, secretly, and I think it's shocking people. Her last performance was like incredible. I was like, whoa! If she fights like this, she's a major problem. And I'm really intrigued. I think Macy's like that plus 150 underdog. I thought you would maybe go that way because I know you like the underdog picks, and I know how
yeah.
much you train with Hannah and just being in Orlando and all that stuff. So I figured that. But yeah, like even in this fight, I think Macy's being underrated. Aspen's a monster. She's really
Yeah.
good, and she's a favorite for a reason. But I'm not overlooking Macy at all.
It's a tough fight, yeah,
Yeah,
and the Maverick fight is also one I'm interested in. I really like. I like. I've met Maverick multiple times. We've I actually visited her gym in Norfolk when I was there for my fight a couple years ago, and we met in Invicta. So I'm definitely rooting for her in this fight too. So that's another one I'm interested in. Lots
no,
of great. For me,
I,
this is like a pay-per-view quality card. I don't know. I don't
I
know about everyone else.
Yeah, Maverick
Yeah.
and Macy, Costa and Adrian. Probably the sleeper fight in the card is that Brandon Allen Puna Soriano fight. Like those are two insane, great middleweights, both young, both on the rise. One's
Yeah.
undefeated, and then of course the main event. Like this kind of jumping with that Corey Sandhagen, maybe the best bantamweight alive. Lost to Aljamain Sterling in a weird submission, but I kind of talked about it earlier on the podcast feed. Like the last 3 years. Corey's 5-1, fought, insane great guys, knocked out main eventers. And then you just look at TJ in the last, 3 years, has only fought once, has lost to Henry Cejudo, 2 wins before that against Corey Garbrandt, who hasn't won since those fights. Like, I don't know. Like, I really, really like Corey Sandhagen in this spot. And, you can jump on it if you want to, or if you want to pass, I totally get it. How do you feel being a fighter? And then TJ got popped with the EPO, like heavy before the fight and after the fight. Are you kind of look back on it? Because that was such a big moment when he defeated Henry Barral. Like, do you look back on that and be like, I don't know? Or is it like, it is what it is, and just hopefully TJ's moving forward and we're all just kind of past it?
Well, at this point, it's kind of like everyone just has to kind of. Well, it's never going to go away,
Yeah.
obviously. I mean, he's done his time. He came back. I don't know if I don't really know if I feel like he was doing it prior to the Henry fight. Like his reasoning was the weight cut more so to get to 25. So it seems like a sort of makes sense reasoning behind it being just for one fight. But there's always going to be that question, like
Right.
what was he doing before? If he was willing to do it then. So, and he knows that's going to be the stigma of his career at this
Yeah.
point. So, but at this point, it's like kind of just not give him the benefit of the doubt, but it is what it is. He's done his time and he's back in fighting. So,
Yep.
it's for him a really unfortunate situation, I'm sure, especially if it was just that one time and he got caught, but you know what you're doing when you do it. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
it was like a heavy dose too. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
a little, it was like, it was heavy. But do you have a lean one way towards another? Do you feel good? I'm all in with Corey. Like, I really like it. I just like so much more active. I feel he's in his prime. He's just defeated. He's like the momentum when you get those major knockouts, and you can talk about it, like how he knocked out Frankie and how he's wheel kicked Marlon Moraes. Like those are just
Yeah.
confidence builders for sure. And I think
Yeah.
Corey's going to take advantage of this situation.
Yeah, I think Corey should be a favorite, and I think I would favor him winning for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how TJ's head will be. Like I feel like he used to fight with maybe a lot of like, not I don't want to say ego, but just like confidence, but
Yeah.
feeling like you're
Yeah.
untouchable. So I guess it's kind of ego. So I don't know if he'll still be kind of with that, with all the stuff that's happened, but he might be coming in, kind of with that same mentality. And that's a place to get you hurt with someone that is so long and rangy, and like someone that you have. I don't know if he's really fought someone as rangy as Corey,
No,
so
no,
not that I
like
can think of. Even Garbrandt isn't that long. So yeah, it's, I definitely favor Corey in this one. But anything can happen, so you never
it is a
know.
fist fight.
It's
It is a
yeah,
fist fight. At the end of the
exactly.
day, anything can happen.
TJ's definitely a skilled guy, with or without the performance enhancers that he did that were on his record. He still got skills and still dangerous. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we're back. It's peanut butter and jelly, spaghetti and meatball. We're right back into it. Felicia Spencer. Yeah, we definitely missed you last week, but like I said, I was all in with Misha Tate. I love Misha Tate in the co-main event.
Yeah.
So we wanted a couple pennies on her. Like we're all in with Corey Sandhagen this week, but I'm so pumped. I have a lot of my guy John Rafford's fighting Saturday night, Combat Night, and Undisputed Promotions, Clash the Titans. Hannah Goldie Saturday morning, afternoon. Taylor Starlin's fighting that Bare Knuckle UFC 19 Friday. It's a stressful weekend at the Van Auken house, Pete. It's very stressful right now.
It's all going to be all right. Hopefully you go 4-0.
I cannot wait.
Yeah.
But Felicia Spencer's phenomenal pick, UFC Vegas 13, is Hannah Goldie. We're sticking the Orlando roots. Felicia, it was great talking to you. Great seeing you. Have good times with the family for the rest of the summer, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Thank you.
Later.